and it's time for our monthly interview with a wonderful, inspiring person, and this month is no exception. I am very, very privileged to be sitting with Linda Morrison, and she's going to absolutely blow your socks off with what she's doing and the amazing work that she's doing. So before I introduce her formally, I'd just like to welcome Linda. Hi, Linda.
Hi, how are you going, Andrew? Thanks for having me.
Good. Well, thanks for being had. And so just a little bit about Linda. Linda, similar background to myself. She's got a health and wellbeing background. She's a leading body transformation coach for women over 40 and a #1 international best-selling author, which is good news for you guys that are watching this. She's created a formula called the Ageless Body, and it's a 6-step system that helps women who are struggling with lack of time, little energy, and weight gain to finally get healthy, youthful, and the body they desire. So she's got clients all over the world. She's been featured on Fox News, ABC, CBS, and the Los Angeles Times. She's doing all sorts of stuff. She's an amazingly inspiring lady. So again, Linda, wonderful to have you here.
Thanks for having me, and I'm super, super happy to share any or all of this story. I pretty much stay in the day, so I do forget a lot of that stuff that you've already said. Sorry, Andrew.
That's all right. That's good. So let's just start with, give us a little bit of your background, how you got started, your history in health and wellbeing industry, and then I guess let's start with the book, and then we'll talk about all the other amazing things you're doing now to leverage that book, because I think that's what people are interested in. So tell us a little bit about your background, how you got started, why you decided to write a book.
Sure. So a really, really shortcut to all of this is, I suppose I'm a teacher. I started, the only ever jobs I've ever had is teaching people through physical movement way back when. So I started with swimming, and then moving to aerobics, which was massive when I was about 18, right through to corporate training, fitness training, personal training, wellness office, which we had all types of people in there, kids with acquired health, brain injury, right through to athletes, everybody else in between. And then I launched online teaching women over 40, which seemed old then. I was just turning 40, how to actually have the best bodies ever. So lots of different, very successful health and fitness businesses, as well as always studying throughout lots of different modalities. But I'm hugely passionate about people thriving and people actually reaching their potential. So as I work with business coaches, in business coaching with coaches now, it's the same thing but different. The reason I launched a book, and I've actually written 5 in 5 years, and don't hesitate to do so because they become your business card, better than a business card, is that I needed to put into a framework exactly how I teach, how I bring together 30 years of experience of leading people, hearing their excuses or reasons not to be amazing, and putting them into something to actually take them from A to B, 0 to hero, whatever sort of like tired to Wonder Woman, whatever you want to call it. And that's what I've actually done there in various books, but this most recent one is about ageless body, women thriving 40 and over, because we all know there's a whole lot of life over 40.
Absolutely. Yeah, wonderful. So tell us a little bit about that process of writing, because you've got some of the people watching this are in the process of writing. What keeps you going? What's your vision? Because and I say it all the time, it's not about the book. It's always about what you want to do. You mentioned
totally.
Hero, getting people to the result. It's about the impact you can have. What are some of the challenges you faced and overcame when you were writing the book?
Well, yeah, so great question, and it comes up every day, is that how would I be an expert? There's one. My sister is my editor and also an incredibly good writer. So she's been taught through her studies, different to me, how to be an incredible writer. So she's my editor, and she's like, I can't believe you're an author of 5 books. And I'm like, well, I'm not a writer, I'm an educator, and I'm here to get impact, and I'm here to get results. I'm a teacher. So if I had to get over my fact that even my own sister was telling me that I don't always write in the right whatever context. And the point being is that I just said to her, so listen, how many books have you written? Sorry, crickets. You've written none. I've written 5, and people read my stuff. So be engaging. Know where you want to actually take this client. It's not about me. So everything that I do, whether I'm teaching one-to-one, whether I'm teaching in a book, whether I'm actually teaching through my online courses, none of it is about me. It's about actually taking the client to a result. I only get paid for results. I don't get paid for someone reading my book or someone reading my course. Or as I said once upon a time when I had one spelling mistake that someone picked up, I don't get paid to teach you English. I get paid to get you the body that you've actually come to me for. So make the main thing the main thing. So whether it's Andrew telling you this or me telling you this, and coaches are great coaches, whether they're come in the package of something that you don't quite understand in the initial stages, it is the main thing. Make the main thing the main thing. The main thing for me when I write a book is that I can actually take someone to a place of inspiration. So we start to get action, because the world doesn't need more knowledge. It actually needs more results.
Totally. Absolutely. 100% right there. And I love you talking about the fact that you're not a writer, you're an author. Because, I mean, that's my story as well. Clueless footballer, personal trainer, no experience, no background, no qualifications, and now 7 published books. So yeah, it's pretty wild to think that you don't need that qualification, you don't need the skills or the talents or whatever everyone thinks you need to be a best-selling author. You just need the guts, and you need a message, and you need to make the main thing the main thing. So tell us a bit about what you're doing now, Linda, because you're doing some pretty amazing things now. You're utilising your website, you're utilising some pretty cool tools online to leverage yourself and leverage your time. Tell us a little bit about that.
Mostly what I do now is I take a very integral, it seems the integral coaches to a place where they're actually earning money to help people with their methodologies of getting people well. So it's mostly that. So organic lead generation, giving them a product, teaching them how to do an online product, actually get in front of people, and get in front of the right target market. Because if we talk to everyone, we end up talking to nobody. And wellness, well-being actually is very, very guilty of this a lot of the time. So it's really about creating you being an expert in your niche, which is one good thing that publishing a book actually does, and then start generating a clientele from there to be able to help. How do you do that? How do you do that online? And I've just actually had my last gym I ever worked at closed, so that's gone. All my friends who said, "Oh, you're launching online 7 years ago," and now going, "What is it that you do?" 7 years later. But this is the new radio and TV, and you need to be on it, and you need to be everywhere in it to be able to actually tell people how to be well and healthy. That said, everything comes through being attractive.
Yeah.
So you can't say, suddenly, everybody, I want you to give up all your wine and chocolate by Thursday, and then you can look like me by the time you're 45. You can't do that. You've got to be a little bit kinder to the processes that be. Yeah. So you've got to be attractive about what you're actually presenting to the marketplace, and think about them a little bit, because a lot of health coaches actually get that wrong. Wellness coaches get that wrong. They go, "I'm so excited about everything that I've learned. Here it is." And everyone goes, "You're crazy. And I'm running a country mile."
Yeah, absolutely. So then tell me, if you're going to give some advice to people now that are assuming they've gone through the process, they've now published authors, how do they get more, results moving people through the process to getting success? What are some of the, what's some advice you could give them around, okay, now let's leverage this book, let's make some money, let's make a difference?
Great question. What I would really say more than anything else in this world is that you need to actually launch an online program. And had I known this before 7 years ago, I would have done it 20 years ago. It is the best thing that I've ever done in my life. So at the end of every single podcast I might do or link I might have or whatever, I've got an ability for people to actually move through a journey with me. Yes, buy the book. That's cool. For $10, $20. It's not going to make you $1 million necessarily unless you really go big. Depends, okay? Depends how you sell. But actually people want a journey with you. They want a journey with you. They want to know more about you. If books made people rich, every writer in the world would be rich. Okay, so really you've got to actually have a tribe. You've got to have a tribe. You've got to know who you're selling to. You've got to niche right down. You've got to know what is the journey they're actually taking them on and what are the results that you're actually delivering. So when people come and work for me, they know they're going to go from a broke trainer to someone that earns 10 to 50Ks a month. How? By everything that we actually tell them to do.
Yeah.
And what comes in between that? Or people going, oh, I don't feel that energetic today. I don't feel like going, to help people today. Well, that's just life.
Tough.
Exactly. That's when you put your book link forward or your other stuff forward.
Yeah.
And but we're not, well, as I find with everyone I work with, you have to actually step into understanding that you are a leader. And the book, therefore, that Andrew may be helping you to actually bring together writes itself, right? You have to write it, but it writes itself because it becomes more than you and your ego. Now, true leaders can actually pop that aside. And this is like me. Some days I'm going to have a quiet day today. I don't want to go live. I don't want to talk about whatever, but I can't help it. There's something inside of me that says, well, you've got these skills. You can lead these people, and you have to actually give them something today to go from here to here. So it's not about me at all. If it was, I would have chosen a different top today, Andrew. So,
Yeah, no.
It's about who we can actually help.
Wonderful. That's great advice. That's so cool. And I think, you're doing some wonderful things, and you've really now tapped into the power of the internet. You've tapped into the power of, devices and technology, which is happening, and it's all around us. And I think a lot of people, they're scared of technology. A lot of people, I don't know what to do. Social media is scary. How do I do it? How do you advise people that are those people that are a little bit scared of technology? What would be the first step? You say write an online program, but to some people that's terrifying. What's the first step as they foray into this world of technology?
Well, I absolutely love that question, and it comes up again and again and again for me every day from people whom already are well ahead of the game that I ever was. So if I actually look at my business 6 to 7 years ago, I couldn't use a computer. I was given a MacBook Pro by my husband that I was just separating from, and I literally pushed the top of it as if it would open like a child's toy. And that's how I started. And the first thing that I YouTubed so I went to YouTube and I said, how do you start a YouTube channel? That's what I YouTubed on YouTube for the first time in my life. So I literally did not know anything about technology. I worked with bodies, I worked with sales, I worked with building physical businesses, wellness offices, gyms, personal training studios, corporate training studios. I worked with people, really good at that stuff. So when I went into technology, and I knew I had to, because I didn't have the money to start an offline business. Okay, so I didn't have the money to start. If you think about Bay Street, Port Melbourne, the average rent was $70K. I didn't have that money to start. I knew I could serve the people if they actually came in the door. There's no way I was going to take that risk when I had 2 children at home to feed, and I didn't know how much I cost, and the money was cut, and I had a $6,000 mortgage. So my options were this, and I've got to tell you, you have to go. into technology nowadays to be seen. You just have to. Whether you've got offline or online, or you want both, or you want a hybrid, or you want to be like me, where I've got 2 homes in Melbourne. I'll be in Queensland next week, Byron Bay. Andrew will be in America. We'll be all over the place still working. Because if you wanted that life, you actually need to know about this whole technology thing. That said, when my children try to teach me what they know, they're useless to me because they don't tell me the steps. I need to know the steps, like I am over 40 and I am. So what I did, and this might be helpful for many of your clients, is I actually went, my people who I can look after are in here. I need to be able to communicate with them. How do they need to be able to consume my materials? We go to video, we go to podcasts, radio interviews, TV interviews, we go to books. That's how we do it. We go to programs and we get right in there. And it's the new radio and TV. On average, everyone's on here personally for 4 hours a day. 3 to 4 hours a day, they're on here. You have to be on here.
Yeah.
Whether you've got an offline.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not.
And that's the problem. A lot of people go, oh, too much time on phone, but it is what it is, and you've got to maximise it. So, Linda, that's been amazing information, and I'd love to sit here and chat to you for hours, but we can't. But if people want to contact you, maybe they want to get hold of your books, or they maybe want some help to set them up from a technology point of view and help them do some of the things you're doing, how do they contact you?
The best way is probably just to go to Linda Morrison on Facebook, or Google me. I've got a YouTube channel that's got 1,000 or 800 videos or thereabouts, Vimeo as well. But the best way is probably just to go to Facebook. That's just the fastest way. Linda Morrison, public figure, Linda Morrison Ageless Body, which is actually my health business that actually operates there for women over 40. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Great questions.
Thank you. You've been incredible, wonderful, and inspiring to many, many people watching this. So I'm sure they will thank you, and I'm sure you'll get some people contact you and say, help me with technology. I need
Don't be afraid. Start
wonderful.
where you're at.
All right. Thanks so much, Linda.
Thanks, Andrew.